What's going on, y'all? It's your boy May 25th. We're back again with one more episode of the Expansion Pack podcast. This week, we're going to talk about a couple of delays. Let's see. We got a couple of rumors we're going to talk about. We're going to sprinkle it on with a little bit of Microsoft stuff. And then we're going to end it off with a little bit of Deathloop. Play the intro thing, the little animation. Go and play it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? I'm your boy Denzel. Welcome back to the Expansion Pack podcast, where we download this week's gaming news and we bring it straight to you. We're on our 45th episode this week. 45th episode, going strong. And again, I'm here with my amazing co-host, as always, starting off with Manny, aka Goopmaster Flex. What's going on, bro?
You already know, been gooping for 45 episodes straight.
Hey, been gooping for 45, stay gooping for another 100,000 more.
Thing or a bad thing? I have no idea.
It is what it is, right? Chris, my guy, aka Mr. May 25th. What's going on with you, man? How you been?
Same old. Still trying to kick these allergies, but doesn't stop us from the games. It does not. It might mess up my eyes while I'm trying to aim, but it doesn't stop.
All right. Well, I mean, speaking of aiming, what have you been playing this week, man?
I barely 2K. I got it downloaded finally, but I barely got a chance to touch it because of the stupid face scanner. They don't want to take all of this and just put it in the game. So, I had to make some generic looking ass dude. So that's that. But I'm going to actually send you this clip because maybe you could even use this for the episode. Bruh, one of my top 5 snipes ever. I clutched the round in trials with this shit, bruh. Both my teammates took L's. It was 1v1, me and this one dude. This dude peeked his head out. I want to say like this is the wall, and he went like this. Pow! Took it off. Like, took his whole head off, man. Took his whole top. It was like a muffin, and the whole top just.
Okay.
Amazing. I screamed because it was a big moment. Clutched around, man. It was crazy. That was good stuff. That was about it.
My guy getting his cred up. All right, I see you.
Okay.
That's what's up, Manny? What you been playing, bro? I already know. But, I gotta ask you.
I've been playing, of course, 2K. I feel like every time I play 2K, I'm in like this, this loop kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I've been playing 2K, Deathloop as well, just released last week. Loving the game so far, as well as revisiting the classic GTAs. Just finished GTA 3 in I'll say 6 hours. So I'm on Vice City right now and about to play that.
Word. Okay. Well, for me, it'd pretty much be the same thing. Been playing 2K on the Xbox. I'm playing Deathloop on the PS5. We're gonna get a little bit more into Deathloop a little bit later, but yeah, 2K has been a fun time. It's definitely. I reiterate, this has been one of the best 2Ks in the last decade. I know some people were disagreeing with me. I know there's some server issues that they probably still got to iron out, but the core gameplay and all the different things you can do in the park, 2K has always been kind of the My Player stuff has always been kind of an RPG. They went all in on it this year. There's literally quests to do in the city. There's a whole different storyline that you're developing. I'm out here getting my rap career together. I kind of wish they give me an option to do the Victor Oladipo thing and do the singing thing, but
they should have.
It is what it is. I'm out here rapping. You get to Chris. I don't know if you got this far yet, but you actually get to pick your bars. Oh, it's very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Okay,
very, very cool. So yeah, shout out to 2K. Y'all still got to get your servers right though. But other than that, good job. Get an A.
You got Slim Ice 8 over here. You know what I'm saying?
Slim Ice. Hold on, what? is that a new nickname that this
apparently comes on My Career Player? He's just like a slimmer version of me.
Oh man, Slim Ice. I gotta see this.
I mean, I was just saying Slim, like a Slim Shady, but we can go with the backstory of him being skinny.
Okay.
That'll be better than my dude. I told y'all my first dude looked like a smush, right? Like if
No.
you took a Tootsie Roll and went like this, put it Tootsie Roll right here.
We need the
and just-
picture, bro. We need the picture. Gotta
Yeah, I
see
should
it.
have took it. It looked bad. Oof.
Uh,
It was real bad.
Oh man.
that's all good. It's
Instantly.
all good. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the first thing. You know, we've gotten back into the habit of doing here. So we got the icebreaker. So hang on here, Chris. Have you take it away? All right, Chris, go ahead.
All right, people. This week we get colder and colder. We getting further and further into fall, and then we're gonna be into the winter months. So icebreakers is always gonna work from now on in. This week's question is gonna be: if y'all could come up with one thing, just one thing, that takes Twitch and pushes it like further into the mainstream, makes it even more popular. Because as popular as it is, I could say it probably could still become a little bit more popular in some cases. What would that thing be? What would y'all do?
Okay. So basically, we're looking at trying to get Twitch to YouTube status, right?
I mean, you could say that in a sense. I guess my answer might be in a whole nother lane than the YouTube thing, but that might make it see a better conversation, I guess. But if that's what you want to like go with, by all means, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll start it off. I got a couple different things. Twitch. Listen
Okay.
here. Nah, but
Shit.
there's some really obvious ones though, right? And I think the backdrop of the conversation has to do with YouTube. Regardless of where Twitch goes or wants to go, you have to look at who's the king of like this type of medium of like videos and entertainment and things like that. Like user created content, YouTube is the king. Period. Like there's really no one else you can really talk about. Like monetization wise, discovery wise, and all those things. So the main thing that I want to talk about is the discovery portion of it. I think that would take Twitch to such a different level. The best thing about YouTube is the algorithm, right? So I know if I watch, I don't know I don't know what a good example is, but let's say I watch Nate Shot's video, right? If I watch like some video of him, I know it's going to take me over to like Tim or Shroud or somebody else. Like there's almost always like a recommended video after you finish watching a particular video. YouTube has refined their algorithm to the point where they know that okay, if you like ABC, you're going to like 1, 2, 3. Like it's and they have it down to a science, and it's very good science. Like how many times have we, I know I'm like a huge culprit of this, but just been on YouTube and just going down the rabbit hole of like, okay, well, I'm watching like a video from Casey Neistat about like drones, and now like I'm on Marquez Brownlee's video about some other drone, and now I'm on some other video about like a phone. Like, it's like they know how to keep me engaged in what's going on because their discoverability and that algorithm is like second to none. And I think that's where Twitch falls apart. There is no discovery piece whatsoever. It's just like you go to the page and like you load up Twitch and it's just like, oh, here's like a million different streams. And like, okay, you can choose like if you want to look at a particular game, sure, but there's nothing that really helps you to like look for a particular type of creator that you may be looking for. And I think that hurts the creators. Definitely hurts smaller creators because they don't get as much opportunity to be seen, especially when they fit like a certain niche or they have like a certain style to them. So yeah, that's my biggest problem with Twitch, and honestly, a large part of why I'm personally considering switching over to YouTube gaming.
You heard it here first.
God dang. You want to go, Manny, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I could go. But like I do agree. Not only the discovery part, but I just feel like in order to expand yourself for Twitch, you need something more than just streaming. Because at the end of the day, like look what happened with YouTube. Before YouTube was just like videos, and now they're doing streaming, and not only streaming, but they're copying like the TikTok part of like doing shorts because they're trying to adapt to all the basic aspects of social media, trying to make pretty much everything in one spot, so you don't have to worry about going to Instagram for like your picture post and then all that other stuff. I feel like maybe if you add like a section on Twitch to be able to upload videos, that would be a good start. And like Denzel was mentioning, like the discovery is pretty bad. Like unless you're a big streamer that's partnered with Twitch, you're really not gonna get discovered at all, which is you're not good for small streamers, like us, of course, unless you're like in like a streaming community, then that's like that's a good way to build yourself up. But definitely have like a who you might like, or maybe even like a local streamers kind of well, maybe not local streamers because then that's kind of giving away people's position, but something to give like for everybody so that they're not all watching the same old Shroud Ninja and stuff like that. Expand your horizons. But like I said, my pick, I would say definitely having like something new that makes the app unique, not just be like a streaming only platform, but maybe get a little uncomfortable and go the route of like making videos and stuff like that.
Real quick though, I actually do like that local streamers idea. Like you don't necessarily have to make your location public, but Twitch knows like your location anyway is based off your IP address, right? In most situations,
Mhm.
so they could refine their
Unless you have a
algorithm.
VPN.
True, unless you have VPN. But then also, if you're a partner, if you're oh my god, an affiliate, like you have to give your information to Twitch so that they know like where they're sending money. If you do make
True.
money, so at some level, Twitch has the information to know roughly where you are, so they don't have to give precise locations. But like, let's say they know people are in Connecticut, like you can say, hey, like these streamers are in your area. You don't necessarily have to be more specific than that. I think that could go a long way, right? Like people are interested in supporting, like it sounds weird, but it's like almost like supporting a small business, right? Or your local
Mhm.
business. People might be a little bit more inclined to go watch a streamer that they know is in their area, for like a community sake. So I do think that there's a lot of possibility with that idea.
Yeah,
Most
definitely. And I miss Mixer because one thing I miss the most about Mixer is like being able to throw gifts in the chat, and like the co-streaming was so easy compared to
Mm,
like what Twitch has to offer. So if they bring features like that, I wouldn't be mad either.
yeah, they need to trickle down the co-streaming thing for affiliates. Like don't keep that locked away for partners and all that. That's
Mhm.
garbage. I don't like that.
And they don't even use it half the time. Like it's just
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. You got more you wanted to add, or do you want me to go ahead and give me my piece?
I would like to hear what you gotta say, Chris.
All right. Well, my idea is actually a little similar to yours. I had like a two-part answer, but I'm not even gonna say the other one because it's whack now that I think about it more and more. uh, but I kind of was in the same loop as you, but my idea was more like I don't get why they don't kind of take it and make it more of its own social media platform instead of it just being just streaming. Because the thing I always think about is TikTok. I hate how Twitch does the thing where like if you haven't streamed in so and so amount of time, that they just remove your videos off of the thing or whatever. I guess maybe it might be different if you're partnered or whatnot. Maybe they leave it permanently if you do that. But I wish it was a thing where you are able to upload your little clip videos on your Twitch and have people just go to your page and it's right there. It'd be cool if they had it where you could put up community posts and it could work like a Twitter, but just for gamers. You know what I'm saying? Or for people who are using Twitch for, I guess, other reasons too, but primarily gamers. It'd be so nice to have something where it's just that and you're not sifting through all the other social media bullshit. Like, I think that shit would be really good. And I guess Discord is kind of that in a lot of ways, but it's a third party thing. It's like separate from it. I wish there was something that was integrated in it to make it more like that. The clips thing would be huge for me though. Like I really wish that they would let people just upload videos or short clips just to put on their profile page. I think that shit would be really cool to do. Especially for somebody like me, because I know I haven't been on Twitch in forever, but when I was doing it, I mean shit, sometimes if I'm playing some kind of FPS game or whatever, I go through stretches where it might not even be my best play. But if I could upload some videos, I could make a whole lot of difference. I could show you my good stuff and my bad stuff, so I don't know. I think that would go a long way for sure. And if they just turn it into more of its own social media platform, I think it would definitely take off a little bit more for sure. Make
Yeah.
it something where people have to have it on their phone. People always have their phone out. Make your app something where people have their phone out and they don't even have to be watching a streamer, but they still want to be in your app. That's what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. You know what I kind of wish they had, and like I like how you mentioned that, because I feel like not only should they should have like your clips right in front of you as soon as you open the page to see that, but I feel like they should also have like a clips tab and make it work how like TikTok works, where you just keep scrolling down through random clips of like games that you either follow or you tend to watch a lot on Twitch, so that not only you get to see like all these other various streamers, but like it helps broadcast not only the streamer itself, but also like and it's a good way to keep like a viewer like me entertained, so on the go per se, because not all the time I'm gonna be able to watch a stream on the go or like on work.
Yeah.
But if I'm on break 5 minutes, scrolling down some random clips and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I feel like that would be a dope little feature.
Yeah, man.
That's a really good point.
Especially in terms of like just when people, like you said, people playing other games. Like
Mhm.
I sometimes don't like how they set it up, where like if you play, say you get a whole week of Destiny in or whatever, all your content, if somebody just goes to your page for the first time, is gonna look like you're a Destiny player, and it's like not gonna like look like you play other shit. Whereas like if you were able to just upload and do different things, you could make yourself look so much more of a versatile gamer.
Yeah.
It's just a better presentation,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I mean, all the things that we've mentioned are obviously like issues that the community at large has definitely brought up. I find it curious that it's not a conversation that Twitch themselves is having a little bit more openly, because I mean, let's face it, there are a number of creators that are leaving Twitch to go to YouTube gaming, and
Yeah, big
it
ones.
is largely for the reasons that we've all talked about, right? Like YouTube is becoming a place where you can kind of go there for
Yeah.
everything. Um,
Mhm.
and the idea that like to make it on Twitch, you really do have to put in a lot of work on other platforms. You need to build up a community within Twitter. You need to build up a community within YouTube. Like putting out YouTube videos helps out a lot. So it's like I don't know. It would behoove Twitch to go ahead and make it that this is the only place you need to go, right? Like the things that you
Yeah.
mentioned, Manny, like basically make a TikTok just for games, like that would within Twitch, that would make a lot of sense. Because even if you think about it, like TikTok is encroaching on some of that territory too. TikTok, you can stream on TikTok, right? There are people who have been streaming games on TikTok.
Mhm.
Like it's it's a thing that like TikTok is in a place where if they want to continue to draw this out a little bit and they build up the infrastructure enough, they could just make a TikTok web page that looks a lot like YouTube, and now they're like second place in this race, right? And now Twitch almost kind of immediately falls off a
Yeah.
little bit. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, TikTok's definitely coming for that crown, right? Like you can see they are putting things in place. Like obviously TikTok started off as what it was, then adding the live streaming component to it means that they're trying to improve at some level. So it's only a matter of time before they start adding more features that start to encroach on YouTube and Twitch's territory. So Twitch, yeah, Twitch definitely they gotta wake up. Gotta wake up.
Wake up.
Yeah.
It's the first of the month.
All right, but yeah, let's get into the real stuff, the meaty topics for the week. I mean that was a really good icebreaker though, because there's a lot to talk about. Pause.
I had to do that for you, bro.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, let's start off with a little bit of news on some delays here. It's been kind of the trend for this past year, some change,
What else is new?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like we're in another loop as far as that goes. So yeah, the first one starting off with Battlefield 2042. So it's a little bit of bad news, nothing too crazy though. We are getting a delay from October 22nd to November 19th. And basically the team released a little statement on Twitter. So I'll read that off to you guys real quick. So they said, we made the decision to shift the launch of Battlefield 2042. The game will now be released worldwide on November 19th, 2021. Building the next generation of Battlefield during a global pandemic has created unforeseen challenges for our development teams. Given the scale and scope of the game, we had hoped our teams would be back in our studios together as we move forward towards a launch. With the ongoing conditions not allowing that to happen safely, and with all the hard work the teams are doing at home, we feel it's important to take the extra time to deliver the vision for Battlefield 2042 for our players. They're going to say a couple more things, but the gist of it is, it sounds like they're trying to prevent crunch. Like that's definitely a thing that has been talked about a lot in the industry, right? You don't want to overwork your employees, especially in the middle of a pandemic. They're all working from home. There's already enough stress as it is. So it sounds like they're pushing the game back a little bit. But within that blurb, though, they did also mention that there will be some updates on the open beta coming later this month. Now, considering it's as of this recording, September 21st, there's really only so many days left in the month. So hopefully we'll get some good news about an open beta soon. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this delay? Just getting right into it here. It doesn't to me it doesn't seem like it's that bad. It's just a couple weeks, so I'm not
Mhm.
too upset by it. But yeah, Manny, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I feel like, despite of what, you know, is that despite it being like almost less than a month away, Battlefield, like I haven't really seen too much of it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like yeah, they show like some of the things like like the multiplayer trailer E3. Also their special mode. I forgot what the special mode is, but they also showed that a little bit. But like other than that, we haven't really seen much. Even like they even showed like the little short with I think his name was Irish, right?
Mm,
They showed a little short of that as well. But like
rest in
other
peace.
than that, yeah, I know. Rest in peace, my man. Other than that, they haven't really showed too much, so I'm not surprised. I'm. s- I mean, unless they're going the 2K route where they show the gameplay like the week of, but
I mean,
this
that's the side effects of the pandemic, man.
it
Yeah,
hurt.
man.
It hurts that we get a delay, but at the same time, it's like it could have been worse. It could have been a couple months. Maybe 2022.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's what hearing a lot of people say is like, oh, it's only 1 month, we're good.
Yeah,
And I just hope that during this little month we don't get like a cyberpunk game coming out. We don't want a buggy game.
we definitely don't want to book again.
Yeah.
And the
Not at
other
all.
side of it too, I feel like is like there are a lot of games coming out within this window. Like it's like so be it,
Mhm.
It's like we have enough to play. So if it gets pushed back
Hmm.
a little bit, it's not the end of the world. We I mean, obviously Halo comes out a little bit later, but I think within that time frame we'll get Forza, right? Forza, we got
Hmm.
Yep.
Back for Blood. I think COD is coming out
In about a
before
month,
this.
about a couple weeks
Yeah.
beforehand. Because
Yeah.
COD, I think, is 3 4 weeks away from now. I want to say.
Okay. So yeah, I mean there's games. Personally, I don't really care about this COD, but there are games for people to play. So
Nah.
it's not the end of the world. But yeah, Chris, what's your take on the delay, man?
Pretty much everything you guys already said. I'm not really phased by it at this point. I'm gonna be real. After this whole COVID shit, it's gonna be really hard for me to get phased by a delay ever again in the future. Like, being real, like the
Yeah.
delay is gonna have to be dumb long. Like, okay, we were expecting it to come out like in a month, and the game's not coming out for 3 years. Like, bro, what? Like, all right, that's different.
Yeah.
But like we've gone through it hard in this year in terms of delays, man. Like, there's no way you're not numb to it by now.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it's a couple weeks. Like you said, there's plenty of shit to play. Um, I'm pretty sure I have a lot to do with my character in 2K for the time being, and a couple other things. Like, I ain't got this. Might worry about that.
I feel
It's
you. I
cool.
feel you on that.
Plus, on the other time too, I think on their end, make sure that you make a game that truly contends with COD this year. Don't rush anything out. Don't put something half-assed out. Don't put something buggy out. This is their opportunity. Like, for real, I feel like this is the year for them to truly be like, put some chinks in that armor. Don't fuck it up. So take your time, do your thing, whatever. We ain't complaining. We chilling.
Yep.
It's all good.
And if you give us the open beta, that'll tide us over a little bit too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we got another delay to talk about though. Another game. So this one's actually Dying Light. So this one actually got delayed from December 7th to February 4th. So a little bit of a longer delay. That's more like 2 months. There's a little bit of information that the team released here, but it's a much longer post, so I'm not really gonna get too deep into it. But they basically shared the same sentiment as Battlefield developers here. Uh, I'll read off this little piece here. They said, it's always been our company's goal to build transparent and honest communication with our community, fans, and gamers. Every day we strive to grow in this element. The team is steadily progressing with the production of the game and nearing the finish line. The game is complete, and we're currently playtesting it. It is by far the biggest and most ambitious product we've done. Unfortunately, we've realized for us to bring the game to the level we envision, we need more time to polish and optimize. So, yeah, it sounds like it's pretty much a very similar situation to what's going on with Battlefield. They just want to take a little bit extra time. They want to prevent the
Yeah.
crunch, and they want to create a better product. And I don't think any of us would necessarily fault them for that. Also, though, it's definitely something to be said that the fact that they're coming out right around the time of Halo, so strategically push that push that sucker away from Halo. Like get away from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the type of game that you don't want your game launching near, right? Like Halo is a game you don't want to launch near. Anything Rockstar does, you don't want to launch near. Call of Duty, you don't want to launch near. Like those are heavy hitters. Stay away from them. That's as easily as you can. So yeah,
Yeah.
February 4th. I think it's an okay time for them. I think it's just before that like crunch of all the random games that are coming out in February, so it gives them a little bit of space to breathe. But yeah, back to you guys though. Chris, I'll start with you this time. What do you think about the delay?
Um, I'm gonna have to just regurgitate everything I said the first time, especially for this, even more so because I'm not as juiced for this game as I am for Battlefield. So like,
Excuse me.
eh, I got yeah, we gonna be alright. We gonna be alright.
Yeah, we can wait. We good.
Yeah, it's really not anything to really like cry over, Like if it would be so much different if this was a game with a long delay and like something that we really been waiting for already. Like let them give us a I don't know, a Grand Theft Auto release date, or even with Starfield next year. We're all expecting it for 2022. Them saying that's getting pushed back to 2023 or something, that stings a whole lot more. This, we alright. We alright. Ain't no big thing.
You're right. You're right. Manny, what you man? Same sentiment.
No, I mean, I was more surprised about this one because they're out here pushing this heavy. We've seen it on a lot of war shows and everything like that. Them showing something new at least, like once every couple months. And I feel like I thought this game was actually closer to completion than Battlefield, but I mean clearly not with the whole couple 2 month basically pushback, and that caught me by surprise because I mean, I understand, like you said, with Halo coming out in the same month and everything like that. You don't want to, but at the same time, it's like we've already been honestly waiting for this game for years. Like
True.
they announced this game like maybe E3 2017, I feel like, or 2018, and it's just like again. I mean, don't get me wrong, this game's probably gonna be good. Hopefully, it doesn't get cyberbunked, but
I was just gonna say, you kind of want them to chill because Cyberpunk got the pressure and they put that game out and boom, 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 boom.
Cyberpunk did it to themselves, man. They had a release date earlier than expected, and they pushed that back like 4 whole times.
I'm
But
just saying, sure,
like
these teams have the dates and they.
man, it's gonna be a long couple months. I mean, not. I mean, at least we got Halo and Battlefield.
There's plenty to tide us over in those months.
Yeah,
There is
when
plenty.
Halo comes out, I am predicting when that game comes out, nobody's gonna be playing nothing else for a few weeks, and then if it's lit, ain't nobody gonna be playing nothing else for a while. I'm just saying, I don't think we good. We good.
Yeah,
Ain't
we good.
nobody's worried about it. We straight.
Halo's definitely gonna to hold our attention for a while. Whether it's a story, whether it's the campaign, like it's shaping up to be something special. So yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's it for the delays for now. Nothing else yet. I'm sure by the end of the year we'll be talking about a couple other announced delays. But yeah, let's dive into a couple rumors now too. Um, this first one's a pretty big one, and Chris, I know you were pretty excited about it in particular. But there's a rumor
Okay.
that Quantic Dream, the developers of some pretty awesome, unique games like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. Uh, Apparently, they're teaming up with Disney. They're gonna be making a Star Wars game. That's the rumor that's floating around. Tom Henderson from DualShockers and and some people from Kotaku were kind of the ones to tease this out a little bit. So we don't know too much about it, but the rumors say the game should be a little bit more action oriented and exploration focused. Sorry, than the games that Quantic Dream has done before. So if you guys know anything about Heavy Rain and Detroit Becoming Human, like it's not necessarily it's not like action oriented in the way that like Star Wars Fallen Order would be, Jedi Fallen Order would be. Um, it's definitely a lot more story based, like conversational, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But, giving this studio an opportunity to make a game that is a little bit more action oriented and still have those story beats and like tell stories in a unique way, I think is something that I'm personally very excited to see, very curious to see how that's going to go. But yeah, I mean this folds into what, we talked about in the past about uh Star Wars and Disney like moving away from EA and like the possibilities that it really can create. We know that we're already supposed to be getting that big Ubisoft game.
Mhm.
We obviously just got the announcement of the new KOTOR, made by I don't even remember the name of the studio, but a relatively newer studio, not as well known. So you've had to expect like these experiences are going to be pretty cool. It's, especially if Disney has such a wide range of studios that they could go out and like talk to, and these are the ones that they're choosing. Yeah, it's got to get you excited for this for sure. But another piece of the rumor says that obviously, again, it's adopting more traditional gameplay, but the game will also include open world and multiplayer elements, supposedly. So definitely not something you typically think of when you
Yeah.
think of Quantic Dream. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this, Manny? I'll let you start off.
It's funny because I was looking at the Reddit leak you sent, and I was reading through the comments, and it was like, would it be a Quantic Dream game if there wasn't a completely forced and unnecessary shower scene? And then somebody else in the comments was like, it will be Jabba in the shower scene, and you like it,
Oh
and I was like,
no,
oh, good.
They wouldn't even have a shower scene. It'd be people with like brushes, just like
just
five
scrubbing.
folks. Just yeah, bro.
But I mean, hey, it's pretty exciting, and like you mentioned, it's like we're getting a lot of Star Wars IPs coming out of different companies and studios, so it's very exciting. Especially me being a big Heavy Rain fan. I haven't played Beyond Two Souls or Detroit Become Human, but I mean, Heavy Rain was in itself a great game, so that in itself got me excited. So I can't wait to see how they would make their own version of a Star Wars game, and especially since it's going to be a little bit more action oriented, because we know how boring the walking scenes can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like sometimes it would just be annoying just walking around like and looking for stuff that are like pointless. But I can't wait to see how it all pans out. Hopefully, like you guys mentioned, it'll be multiplayer. Hopefully, the multiplayer aspect is well polished and everything like that, and hopefully, it will still bring some of the elements like that Rain brought out, where is like whatever choices you make affects the way the game ends, kind of thing.
I feel you. So, Chris, I know you played. Did you play Detroit? I know you played Heavy Rain in the
No,
other game.
I actually have it right over here. I just haven't played it yet
Mm.
because I don't have a Sony console to play it on right now.
What's that?
But once I get the five, I'll definitely dig into that. But I have played Heavy Rain and I have played Beyond Two Souls. Beat both games. Excellent games in my opinion. I love those story-based games because they give you a second to kind of chill and just use the other side of your brain, which I kind of like. Um, ah, where do I start with this? Golly. Okay. So this has me excited for a lot of different reasons. Even though you just said that they're planning to make a game that has more combat focus than I guess stuff they did on in the past, I still don't think that that means that it's going to be what not we're expecting, but what the casual person would expect hearing that. Because I think the casual person is going to hear that and say, "Oh, okay, so they're going to have lightsabers and you're going to be able to hit people and da da da." I don't think. I mean, I think there's going to be a little bit of that, but like if you play their games, like it's more like environment bending stuff. It's more like figuring things out, and I think that's the kind of stuff that they're going to really be like focusing on. And I think when they say more action, it's more like the cutscene work that they normally put in their games are very, very well done. And I just think that it's going to be some crazy shit that they do with the Star Wars stuff. And I think they do a lot of the I always forget what they call this, the acronym, when they like give you the button in the middle of the screen when you're doing it and you got like press it and then make something
Quick
else.
time events,
There you go.
QTs.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna like take that to like the next level with this. I think there's some cool things that they could do with just manipulating the force and you learning the force and all that kind of stuff. I think that's gonna be cool. the fact that it's open world sounds crazy, not just because of Star Wars, but they never had a. Well, I don't know if Detroit was. Detroit might have been, but the other two games aren't open world. Like they're, if anything, maybe you can say semi pseudo open world within the little locations that they load you up in for whatever scene you're in. But it ain't like you could just open a door and just walk out the house and just walk down the street. Like the games have never been built that way. So this is very, very new for them. It's going to be new for us. And I think their take on Star Wars is just going to be completely different than anything we've seen so far. This is the equivalent to me of, you know, like how everybody gets their turn at making a Batman movie, and like we got to see who could do it the best, and then we do the same thing with the actors to see who could be the best Batman. I think this is going to be their opportunity to really get to tell a Star Wars story in their own way that might not be something that anybody has either done or might do after. Because till this day, Heavy Rain came out, what, 10 years ago? Maybe more? I've never played a game like Heavy Rain besides maybe Beyond Two Souls, and then because they're from the same studio.
Yeah.
But like, other than those two games, like they're similar to the Telltale games, I guess. But even those, they're separate. They're different. So like,
the closest thing I can even think of
man.
is Life is Strange, and then
Yeah.
Tell Me Why. Like, but even they aren't really like that, you know. Like they're
like, yeah, no.
Because even the way you like use the controls in the game, and like you have to like quick time events is like one way to say it, but they've expanded on the quick time events thing, because then you have to like hold the right trigger and then hold X and then hold this, but like be holding them all at the same time, and like they're supposed to be like making you do a thing in what feels like a very organic way. Like the way they use the controller to make you feel more immersed in a game is just very different.
Yeah.
Now, here's something I'm going to throw out there, and I don't know how real this particular part of the rumor is, but there was something that mentioned that the game may have VR capabilities. Now, that's a whole different thing now. I would absolutely love to see this studio doing an immersive simulation game with VR. Like they would kill it for the reasons that I literally just outlined, right? Like the way that they maneuver around a controller to make you feel more immersed in a game. And now you have something like let's say an Oculus controller that like with force feedback and like being able to move your arms around and do all these different things. And then obviously the immersion of you being in VR and be able to look around you, like, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's stupid. That is just plain stupid.
Absolutely.
You know,
I didn't even talk about multiplayer. So I can't.
one thing that got me worried is Quantic Dream is known for making PlayStation exclusives. Like, I hope this isn't like going to be a situation where it's like another PlayStation exclusive, because Quantic Dream is known, like I said, known for making exclusive PlayStation games.
I feel like they had just recently said something about making multi-platform games. I feel like that was a thing that they like announced recently. So in a very similar way to the people who made oh my god, what's the name of that? Supermassive? No. The Supermassive studio, right? The guys who make the game that you and I played on stream.
Man of Medan?
Yeah. I think they went like that company went multi-platform, made Man of Medan. I think Quantic Dream had said they were doing something very similar. So I don't know if this is going to be an exclusive. I mean, it may very well still be at least a timed exclusive. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That'll be interesting.
At the least. At the least, it'll be interesting. But yeah, we'll dive into the other rumor we have here. So a couple things about Microsoft. You know, it wouldn't be a podcast in 2021 if we weren't talking about Xbox rumors, man. I know that there was a couple different things flying around about acquisitions. Like that's been the thing that's on the tip of literally everybody's tongue when it comes to Microsoft. I think we just hit the anniversary of the announcement of the Bethesda acquisition. So a lot of people were expecting, you know, maybe Microsoft might have something very similar. I do know that Special Nick from the Xbox Era podcast had mentioned something about he used the term "it's acquisition season" around Microsoft and the idea of them acquiring some new studios. So it's definitely been on the tip of everybody's tongue. But we do have some different news from Jez Corden over at Windows Central. pretty well known figure in the Xbox land right now because had a lot of news. You know, he's delivered or broken a lot of news, and he's been pretty accurate about certain rumors that he's reported on as well. So just kind of going down the list of a couple different things here. So let's see. He basically mentions that Microsoft is going to be ramping up their third party publishing plans to cover pretty much any genre there is out there. Um, they basically said, actually, it sounds very similar to some of the things that Sony's doing in a way, right? So, which doesn't really surprise me, but it seems like there's a heavy focus on Game Pass for this, which again shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody listening to this or anybody who knows what's going on with Microsoft lately.
Mhm.
But a couple points he mentioned. So, um, there's going to be a bunch of indie titles from smaller developers. Mentioned some side scroller beat 'em ups similar to Streets of Rage 4, which could be fun, similar to like Battletoads and things like that. He mentioned a MOBA based on an existing Xbox IP. Very curious what you guys' thoughts are on that one, but
Mhm.
I'll continue through the rest of the list here. So he also mentioned a cloud powered MMO, which the way he talked about it, apparently it didn't seem like it was the Kojima MMO that we're all thinking of, or I guess we're assuming that that might be an MMO the way Kojima had talked about it, but I guess it might not be that game. There's also a couple strategy games, which makes sense because Microsoft obviously owns the people who make Age of Empires. They own oh my god, what's the name of this? Is it Obsidian? Did they make Wasteland? No, In
I
Exile.
don't think
Sorry,
it's
In Exile makes Wasteland, and that's kind of a strategy game in a way. So wouldn't surprise me if there's something going on there. And then obviously they've talked about the games that we already know about, the game from Avalanche, the rumored game from IO Interactive, the game from Kojima. So like basically he's kind of framing it that Microsoft is really going to be investing heavily in third party content. And he doesn't really talk too much about acquisitions here, which I think says something, I guess. Obviously we all know that Microsoft's working pretty damn hard on stuff right now, right? Like actually no, you know what? Let me bring that back. He did actually mention that they may be looking to acquire some smaller studios, but he specifically said nothing Bethesda level. But then again, the Bethesda level acquisition never got leaked. Nobody
yeah,
saw that coming. So I'm pretty sure if there is something in that same vein, it's probably not going to get leaked. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, a lot of information there, guys. What do you guys make of it all? Manny, start with you.
So, what I'm getting out of this is we're gonna get a Viva Pinata MOBA, baby. You know how we doing?
Viva, Viva.
No,
Do it.
I saw that in the comment section, so I had to bring that up. Shout out to Beasto. But what is it called? I'm excited for the MOBA because I used to play Smite heavily. I haven't got to the league or any of those other stuff, but Smite is the only MOBA I'm pretty much generally familiar with. So I'm hoping to see what kind of like mobile they'll come up with, especially since it's based off an existing Xbox IP. So, like, thinking about it, they have so much to choose from, especially since they got a lot of things from Rare, they got a lot of things from all these other things that they haven't seen in a long time. So that's the one thing that got me like the most excited out of seeing this is like, well, what not what MOBA can they come up with? Like with an existing IP, I'm thinking of like Halo and stuff like that, which I'm probably, which wouldn't probably happen because that would be like a little too much. But I'm just,
I actually feel like Halo might be the. I feel
you
like
think so?
I'd be the least surprised if it was Halo, but I can't visualize what a
I can't
Halo MMO looks like.
because it'll be weird. Because, like I
Or
said,
MOBA,
I'm not.
sorry, not MMO.
Yeah,
MOBA.
MOBAs is like you got these heroes you select and you pick them. They have different abilities, and that's my vision of MOBAs. I don't, like where you gonna have Master Chief be a character? You got Arbiter. Like, no, it's not gonna work like that.
Yeah, I don't think there
Unless,
are enough
unless
heroes
it's
in
like
Halo, but
unless that's how they do it, where they based it off of basically like you get to be you know arbiter, you get to be what I'm saying. But I doubt it. You know what I'm saying. So I'm just excited to see what IP that is, and you know, hopefully we'll see something sometime soon.
absolutely, I'm thinking TGS would be the most logical place for something, but a lot of these things they're talking about aren't like you know, Toki like wouldn't be focused on that market. So I guess it doesn't fully make sense to me. But that's the next major show that's coming up, right? I'm pretty sure that's coming next week. We should we should later this week have a better understanding of what to expect from that show.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know, but Chris, yeah, what do you think about this publishing
Um,
news?
it's always interesting stuff as usual. The Microsoft rumors never stop. Um, I would say if I had to come up with something for the mobile, I kind of think it's gonna be Gears because when I think about Gears, to me that's the easiest game to put from Microsoft and make into a mobile. You got a couple different characters that everybody knows and loves. Uh, yeah, I think it would work actually pretty easily. So that probably would be the one that wouldn't shock me the most because I'm still trying to think about how they would do a Halo one, and that would be very, very interesting to see them pull off.
I think the
I don't know.
characters thing is the same with Halo in the sense that you have like the different races, and obviously they're like different Spartans that we've come across over time. But yeah,
Mm,
I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how either one of those works because when I think of a MOBA, I think of people who have different powers. And like I think of
Mhm.
it in a more fantasy element. And both of those games,
mm,
obviously they're sci-fi, but they're a little bit more grounded in reality than other games
yeah.
are.
Mhm.
So like I don't know how you do the
Mm,
powers thing. But
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
that's-
too, because like
yeah.
you got the towers, you got to defend and everything like that, and how like how I think of a MOBA is just like
like who's
how you
gonna be
gonna
your
put
mage? Who's gonna
those?
be your assassin? Who's gonna be your hunter?
Maybe
Yeah,
it's Elder Scrolls.
it's true,
They
That
own it.
but
I
that
mean,
like,
actually that could be it. Yeah. They use the terminology Xbox IP, and I guess mentally I wasn't thinking of it that way, but literally it is an Xbox IP now. So that would make sense.
yeah. And I mean, that definitely solves the issues of abilities or powers and all that stuff. Got a lot of different characters you can choose from. There's a lot of shit they could do if they did it with Elder Scrolls. For sure. For
what should be
sure.
nothing. We talk about
It's
all
not.
this we're talking about is gonna be scrapped, thrown
It's gonna be
away.
bleeding edge, bros. Bleeding edge.
Should be like Barbie the
Hmm.
Carpet Princess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll be excited about it. I'm sure it'll be something to get us talking because
You got a
yeah.
flight simulator MOBA.
Oh my god.
Good.
What the
Imagine Kazoo,
Shut the whole thing down.
my boy conquers bad for a day MOBA. Okay,
Oh
no,
god.
it's
Uh, Bad neighbor MOBA.
oh my goodness.
We're
Imagine
out
if we do
here.
get like some random Viva Pinata revival.
Oh my goodness. Viva Pinata MMO. There we go. Based off the cloud. Good.
Oh boy, that'd be something else. That would be something else. But yeah,
That'd be crazy.
obviously something to keep our eye on, as we always keep our eye on with Microsoft. But yeah, we're pivoting over to PlayStation now. It's our last topic for the week. We alluded to it earlier. We got Deathloop this week, ladies and gentlemen. Deathloop, PlayStation exclusive. Well, it's also on PC, but PlayStation console exclusive. Now, Manny and myself, we've been playing it. Chris, unfortunately, doesn't have a PlayStation, but we'll still get his take on it because he's seen a couple things here and there. But I just want to start off by saying this game is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we talked about this before in the past. I'm a big BioShock fan, and this game is giving me high, high, high BioShock vibes. So, yeah, needless to say, I'm very happy. Very happy. This is the BioShock game that I didn't know that I wanted. But now I have it, and now we're here. I haven't gotten too far into it. I would say I'm roughly like 10 hours in, really just kind of like messing around more than anything, like really trying to understand like the mechanics of the game and see what's going on. I'll say this is probably one of the smarter made games I've played in quite some time, probably since BioShock, to be fair. Um, but yeah, like there's such heavy callbacks to the game in the sense that there's kind of a mystery as to what's going on and why you want to break the loop and so on and so forth. Also, there are different like tape cassettes sprinkled around the world, which is very much Bioshock esque. Like Bioshock had those tapes sitting around the world that you would pick up and listen and learn a little bit more about the world around you. So again, another nod to Bioshock for sure. But yeah, I'm very happy about this game, Manny. What do you think about it playing it so far?
This game's absolute trash. I hate it. Nah, this game's dope, and like it's just crazy because like this game is just there's so much going on, and you just don't realize it. You got these targets you got to kill, and you got to do it in a certain amount of time. And like in order to do it, you got to like go explore the world, find out how they live, how they do their thing, and it's like it's just mind blowing, honestly, how like a game could be in so much depth like this, and it's it's like honestly like could have possibly set a trend for the future of gaming and how you do things, because not only do you have to do this, but you also got possibly another player chasing you down while you're trying to do this, and you got limited time, or else you got to start the loop all over again. And honestly, I just love the way how everything's just set up and the way you do it, and it make like high replay value, because there's so much to do and so much to explore and so much to encounter things the way you want to. Like I remember when they're showing that gameplay demo back in like a PlayStation State of Play, I believe, where they're showing how they're at that not comic, comedy show where they're talking about like how if you say a terrible joke, they release the dude, and then like how Colt went and put like the target into the like the shirt or whatever, and just like that's not the only way you kill that target. You can do it many other ways, and that's what I love about the game, because it's like it has that high replay value, because you want to go back in there and you want to do things a different way the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like you're living in a loop just to break the loop. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, not the thing that you mentioned about like the sandbox and how it's set up in such a way that you could literally tackle it however you want. Like, absolutely one of the best things about the game, hands down. Um, there's a similar situation. I guess I can't get too much into details because I don't want to necessarily get into spoiler territory. But there
Mhm.
was a situation like that where I had gone through the loop the first time around, defeated the enemy a particular way. Like I kind of brute forced it the first time around. I snuck in to a particular location, and once I got into that location, all hell broke loose. I was just running up, stabbing, running up, stabbing, stab, stab,
Okay.
stab, 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 until I got to the person that I needed to stab, and I just like hacked her down, and I grabbed the power up that she gave me, and like I love the idea that what you do in one particular loop, like okay, you've gained a new set of information, like it's designed in such a way that you're supposed to fail the first couple times, right? You
Mhm.
gain more knowledge. The more knowledge you gain, it's like it's almost like if you guys remember like Contra or like Metroid or Castlevania, they call them like Metroidvania games, but like
Mhm.
the idea that you go to a particular location and you can't go further because you need to like progress to another part of the game to get like either a power up or a key or something like that, and then you go back in. That's how this game is set up, but it's all with information. It's like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
like I know that I need to go to this, like this door that I want to go through to kill this person at this particular time is only open in the afternoon. So I'm gonna go there in the afternoon, sit there, wait, and then like get a kill, or like there's like creative ways. So for those of you who don't know the premise fully, it's the idea that there's a loop going on, like you're stuck in this loop, you don't exactly know why, but you learn that the only way to break the loop is you have to kill the visionaries, the people who created the loop. You have to kill seven of them. So there are some creative ways about how you can get them to be in the same place at the same time. There's different information you learn about certain people, and when you get them in the same place at the same time, you can like what I ended up doing is like I threw a bomb and like blew them both up. But it was like amazing. It was like, oh great, this is perfect. Like this makes my life a little bit easier, and then I can move on to the next, the other five people that I have to kill. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. But yeah, Chris, I know again, you haven't played it yet, but what are your impressions of what you've seen so far? Reviews and so on.
It looks like 12 minutes on crack.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. It does look like 12 minutes on crack.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny, man. The one thing that I always will say is that the game's charm kind of like rings through whether you're watching a trailer, whether you're watching somebody stream it, or if you're just watching a review, whatever it is. That like they, how do I put this? This is gonna sound stupid for some folks watching. I apologize. Stay with me here, but with music, right? And you hear certain songs. Yeah, there's certain songs that you hear at first and you don't like them and they grow on you, but for the most part, everybody kind of knows when a song hits them like that first time. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of hits you. I haven't played the game yet, but just based on how everybody else is speaking about it, it's captured that thing, that thing that kind of says, okay, this is here to stay. This was a great idea, and I expect several sequels to come from this. And I'm just basing this on how people talking. You know, just watching how they're talking about it. I'm hearing masterpiece. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing that. Sucks being on the sidelines waiting. I am hoping that the timed exclusive thing is only a few months. Maybe it is a year. We don't know. We ain't got no details like you told me. But yeah, stuff like this is always cool. You know, time travel stuff or things that have anything to do with time loops, even the movies, any of that stuff is always cool to me. So I can't wait to be able to play it on my own. You guys are very lucky. Yeah, no, I can't really say anything bad about it. Everything I'm seeing is just good. It's kind of rare that I see like a unanimous thing like this because I haven't seen one bad review on the game yet. I'm sure I'll see a few here and there, but I've seen a couple and I haven't seen nothing.
Yeah.
Not even on YouTube.
Yeah, the conversations I've been seeing are really just about like it's not like is Deathloop good? It's like how good is Deathloop?
Right. Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting conversation to have. But that kind of brings me to like I guess a different set of questions that I get. Manny, I want to get your take on for sure. Like what do you first off? What do you think is your favorite thing about the game? Like your favorite component to the game?
I do like the sneaking and like the little power up moves you get. Like the fact that I remember in the beginning of the game, like something happens and then you're getting chased. So what ended up happening is like I'm out here sliding, moving around, dodging people, double jumping my way up to rooftops and buildings. So I feel like the movement in the game itself is amazing. The fact that like you can sneak around too. The sneaking could be a little cheesy sometimes because it could be like you kill somebody directly behind somebody and like they would be clueless. Or like I remember I was like in the side of somebody walking up close to them and then they just don't recognize me. But other than that, I mean like the movement feels great. I love it so much. Like I feel like this is like Mirror's Edge level of like great movement because like Mirror's Edge is like basically based off movement, or this game is just like that's just like an aspect of the game. Like if you want, you could just go out in the city, go out parkouring, get your best position on angles and everything like that, scout around, see what's happening. So I'll say that's probably like one of my favorite aspects of the game.
Yeah, you took my favorite aspect. That's for sure. Like the movement is absolutely amazing. Like the way that they set up, like if you're like the ability to dash like left, right, back, like just clicking in the stick as if you're sprinting, like the way it feels is just so good. And like obviously the game's running at 60 frames, like it's a fluid experience. So like having all of those components, like having the controls feel really tight, having the game running like up to par, like performance wise, it just makes for such like a really, really cool experience. Like, for me, I tried for the most part to do everything as stealthily as I possibly could. But like in the moments where everything fucking goes to shit, it's like, all right, I feel like, all right, if I pull out a gun or if I pull out my machete, like I'm gonna get work done. Like I feel like I can aim efficiently. I can like weave in and out of cover and like stab people, do this, do that. And then when you factor in like I don't know what abilities you got many yet, but in like one of the first instances, I think it's got to be part of the story, but when Juliana like invades your world and you kill her, like I got the shift ability, like where you can dash. Did you get that many?
Yeah, I picked it up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like doing that in a gunfight. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
I remember even seeing the review that like IGN put out where the guy was just like literally switching places with people, and next thing you know, he's like dudes talking to each other, he switch places, and dudes like, wait, what? And then he just hack and slash him, and like it's just like the countless ways of like encountering everything is just so amazing. Like I remember one of the first targets that I had to kill. I'm not gonna say who it is or what happened, but like I remember in order to get to him, there's like these closed doors that you can only open through buttons, but there's like this little like side panel that you can sneak through on the side, but it's like covered with like tripwire lasers. And I was like, fuck it, I got 3 lives. I'm just gonna jump in that shit. And then I was like, all right, I'm back, bitches. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I just like the way that you can just like basically encounter everything, and then it's like after you go through it the first time, it's like all right, I know what to do next time in order to sneak in without having to risk one of my lives. So I definitely like the way like just how everything's set up, pretty much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So what I was gonna say though, because obviously like that's since you kind of took my answer, even though that is essentially my answer. the other thing I have to say that's my favorite thing about the game is something that Chris actually mentioned, and that's like the tone of it. Like Colt is an amazing character, right? He's super funny. Like he's just I don't know the things that come out of his mouth, like the phrases that he says, are just mad funny, bro. Like it's just that simple. Like he's like he swears like a sailor, but like the like phrases that he uses to swear are just like whoa, what the I've never heard this before. You know, like he's an absolutely amazing character. The the dynamic between him and the woman on the radio, like not gonna get too much into that, but like the dynamic between those two is really funny. Like the dynamic between the visionaries that you're supposed to kill, like they all have different personalities. You learn about their personalities through like reading things, and obviously the tape recordings that I mentioned beforehand. Like all of that stuff like adds to this ambiance of that world, and it's just so good. And again, say it again, it gives me such Bioshock vibes because Bioshock was set up in such a similar way. It was like you learned, like in that game you learned about the villain and then the person who was helping you, and obviously there was like a twist in that game. But you know, as you were going through the world, like everything had such a interesting um way about it, like the would you kindly, you know, references and all that different stuff. Like there was so many good things about that game. Honestly, that leads me to think that the end of this game, obviously I haven't beaten it yet, the end of this game is going to have a similar twist to what happened in Bioshock. And if that happens, like, and the twist is good enough, that takes this game over the top. Like it could be encroaching on like one of my favorite games of all time if they stick the landing on the ending. But so far, man, I'm having a really, really, really good time with it. But we definitely have to give it some critiques, right? It's not perfect. It's damn near perfect though. So Manny, what is your least favorite thing about the game?
My least favorite. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the gunplay it just feels a little weird, but not too. It's not too bad, you know. It's like I feel like it's good enough to where it's not like unenjoyable. I'm just like used to that fast pace, you know, action with like Call of Duty and everything like that. That the sneaking is I feel like can be a little too easy, but you know I'm not complaining. You know, I suck at sneaking games anyways, and you know like I mentioned earlier, the sneaking, like the way they basically you know get what's the word? Whatever I think about the word later, but just the way they I feel like sometimes where it's just a little too easy, and I feel like they can probably like fix on that a little bit. But other than that, I mean, the game is pretty damn fun.
Mm. It's interesting you mentioned the gunplay thing because I can see what you mean by that, but I feel like it's not meant to be too precise unless you're using like a sniper or like the nail. But like I feel
Mhm.
like the majority of the guns are just designed so you just like spray at someone's body and get a kill. And I feel like in that way the gunplay is okay, but yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. For me, I think my least favorite thing about the game, or my least favorite touted feature so far, actually is the one that I haven't gotten to use with you, but it's the multiplayer. Like, it's cool in theory, but the idea that you can come into my like when I first heard about it, right? I was like, oh, like okay, I can be doing my thing in the loop, and then Manny can like invade my world, and you know we'd fight or whatever. But
Mhm.
like, it literally can impact you like doing your missions, and it's like it could be kind of frustrating. Like I had a random person join my game the other day, and I killed him. But if basically if they had killed me, I would have restarted the loop, and I had already killed two visionaries that day. I would have been furious. And I actually saw this person on Twitter was talking about how somebody who was friendless joined his game, and he was literally just about to kill the last visionary, and they killed him, and it like completely fucked up everything. He had to redo the loop.
Damn.
I would
Damn.
be furious if that happened to me. And it's like
Wow.
that's a dope ass feature, but ooh, I'll be so mad.
At least you can turn it off.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true. That's
bad.
true. That is true.
But I'll keep it on because you know I want the stress. I want to throw hands.
I'm still working on invading your game, but the timing didn't work out well. But I'm gonna sneak up on you one of these days. Don't worry.
Hey man, I try to stick it up in your world, but for some reason the game you know want me to smack you real quick.
It's all right. We worked it out. I got my PlayStation Plus back up, so you know I'm available. I'm ready to throw
Uh,
them hands when you want it.
So cash me outside, fam.
Yeah, don't worry
but
about me. Good old Colt gonna mess you up, bruh.
Yo, so Chris, I was talking to Denzel the other day, and I was like, yo, when we getting a Colt cosplay?
Oh, you gonna say this on stream? Okay.
Nah, I was like,
Colt
when we getting
cosplay.
I feel like Denzel will kill the Colt role, you know what I'm saying?
I'll look it up and hold on.
Yeah, all right, let's get Chris.
Hold on. Hold on.
A Colt cosplay. Yo, come on, chat. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys.
Hold on. Let me
Put it in the
confirm.
comments below if you guys think
We
your
want it.
boy
We want. I
should do a
want it.
little cosplay as Colt.
What?
Maybe next time we go to the
Hold
Easter.
on. Hold on.
Next time, what?
This look makes me think he's gonna agree with you.
Only in this one particular shot of him though. Like the other shots, I'm like, eh. Oh, actually, these two shots. These two shots, I can see where he's talking about. So I don't even know if y'all gonna be able to see my phone, but I'll try. So,
Nope.
focus.
Nah,
focus.
it's not working.
All right, never mind.
It's not working.
I'll show you guys in the Discord later, but this photo makes me think so, but there's a couple other ones where I'm like, nah. It depends on the angle, bruh.
All right, hey.
Even so, I mean, obviously all costumes don't have to look exactly like the person, but I just feel like, you know, you just throw on the bomber jacket, so you know, so you good.
Would you be able to do his cosplay though? You could absolutely do his cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
All right, well, hey, y'all listening, y'all viewing. You know, post a little comment. Let us know. You know, you guys think I can pull off the Colt cosplay or not? Yeah, maybe I'll try it. Maybe you guys will see it on the Instagram. Maybe I'll do it on a podcast episode one of these days. But yeah, well, let's get into the last little thing I wanted to talk about here. And you know, obviously based on the things that I've been saying, you already know what my answer is going to be. But conversation's been going around so far that is this a game of the year worthy candidate? So, Manny, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say, especially with the games that came out this year and seeing like what's left for the year, I would say like the only other really contender that I would say I would say the top 3 games that probably would be considered is probably Ratchet and Clank, because that game was, like, in my opinion, great. I would say Ratchet and Clank, Hitman, and this game will probably be like the top 3.
Okay.
I know everybody's saying Returnal got Game of the Year potential, but I honestly don't see it.
I agree. Absolutely agree. I think the games that people have been talking about are Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and what was it? People haven't really been talking about Ratchet and Clank, but I would put it up there.
I personally love the game, so that's my personal like top 3 games of the year so far.
No, I think it's definitely good. For me so far, this game blows away all those games because I feel like it's just way like. So my answer, obviously, a resounding yes. This game is absolutely game of the year contender. Chances are it's going to be game of the year because it's kind of surprised a lot of people in a lot of ways. Also, I think Halo might be coming out a little too late for it to actually get a game of the year nod. So yeah, Deathloop all the way. I will be shocked if this game does not get game of the year. Forget nominations.
Unless Back 4 Blood blows away us when the game releases, even though we already played the beta.
We played the beta. I like that game, but that's not. I don't even think that's even close to the conversation because the story that they're lining up so far, the world that they've created, the mechanics that they've put into the game, like there are so many different systems happening in this game, and they actually make it like not feel overwhelming. And they went out of their way to, you know, man, you mentioned like it feels easy, but like I think that was very much on purpose to make the game a little bit more accessible. And yeah, that game is killing it, bro. That's definitely game of the year, easily for me. Obviously, I'm singing its praises a lot. It tells you a lot about the type of games that I love, obviously, because it invokes so much of BioShock for me, so much of BioShock. I'm just really excited to see what they do with the second one, because you know, obviously now they got Microsoft money. You know, Microsoft gonna say, "Hey,
there we go.
Just do any and everything that you want to do with this world."
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we'll see what
Mhm.
happens at the end of the game because there's a good chance that it can be set up in such a way that this is just a one and done. That's the way the story is set up. But either way, has me very excited for what Arcade. I think this is Leon, right? Arcade
Mhm.
Leon. Very excited for whatever the heck else they're doing next because they are absolutely killing it.
Definitely.
Mhm.
All right, well, boys, you guys, anything else to add about Deathloop or anything we talked about so far? What we had out here?
I think I got everything I wanted to say.
Hopefully, I won't be on as late on that, as I was on my Xbox. We'll hope and pray. Let's see what happens.
We'll see.
Can't
we'll
wait to see you in 2K, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So I got a two-way post facilitator.
hey, the post game is where it's at. Post game's where it's at. All right,
Yeah.
well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna head out of here. But before we do, switch it up a little bit this time around. Chris, I'm gonna let you start off. Where can the people find you?
People, I am on everything at MAY25THXX on everything. Don't pen pal me on Gmail because I don't care. All right, y'all go.
All right, don't pen pal, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't
Manny,
want it.
where can the people find you, bro?
You already know, twitch.tv/GoodMasterFlex. The gram and Twitter, GoodMasterFlex_2TV, as well as the TikTok at GoodMasterFlex.
Word. All right, guys, with me, it's Black Ice 8. You can find me at twitch.tv/Black Ice 8. I'm on Xbox, Twitter, obviously PlayStation Network, Steam, all the above. The only difference is on TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at Black Ice 8_gaming. And then, of course, make sure to check out our TikTok for the podcast, Expansion Pack Podcast. We're also on Instagram at XPackPod. I know we haven't been posting as much stuff lately, but we'll pick that up a little bit for you guys. You guys can interact with us, and then of course, let people know that you love this podcast, right? Like,
Goddamn right.
yeah, share the word. Let people know that you like what we're
Damn
talking about
right.
here. Let the people know that I might be over here trying to cosplay as Colt.
There we go. There we go.
Share the word,
We-
ladies and gentlemen. Share the
We
word.
want
Please.
Denzel Colt cosplays in the comment section down below.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know, man. Let us know. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.
Peace.